Speaking of upsets, number 7 Texas Tech going down to Arizona State 26-22. Texas Tech suffering their first loss of the season. Let's go over the highest graded players, starting off with the defending Big 12 champions, Arizona State. Their highest grade player was safety Montana Warren, 81.8 grade. Keyshawn Elliott, the linebacker, 74.1. Josh Atkins, the offensive tackle, 72.2. Javen Robinson, the corner, 71.7. Keith Abney, another corner, 71.2. Sam Levitt with only a 47.9 grade in the win, but he did come up big in the final drive of the game for Arizona State to take the lead ultimately and win the game. Texas Tech, meanwhile, their highest grade player was, of course, Jacob Rodriguez, who we consider right now to be probably the best linebacker in college football, 83.4 grade for him. Bryce Pollock, the cornerback, 71.5. Edge rusher, Romello Height, 71.1. Amir Boyd, the corner, 69. Lee Hunter, the D-tackle, 68.1. And Will Hammond, the quarterback, 67.3. Dalton, what told the story in this game?
So I think when you look at, and people are going to wonder about that low grade for Sam Levitt, because there certainly were highlights, and you mentioned the final drive as one of them, really the whole thing. And Arizona State, we were talking about this early in the game yesterday, where Arizona State's goal in this game against this defense was, look, stay in it for as long as you possibly can. And they built a lead. They certainly built a lead, and it looked for a while like they were just going to sit on that lead and be done with it. But the goal, I think, going into this game was, hey, stay in this against this monster of a team right now. And then if we get to the last 5 minutes in a one-score game, which we got there in a weird way, let's just see if Sam Levitt can win us a ball game. And this is the difference between having Sam Levitt in this lineup and out of it. And I think the stat to me is Arizona State, 6 explosive passes. Texas Tech, just one, just the Coy Aiken touchdown in the first half. That was the only pass they had that gained more than 15 or more yards. Arizona State had 6 of them, and I think the biggest thing with those 6, 5 of them, that one was first play of the game to Shimon Mateer. 5 of them after that, they all set up scores, 4 field goals, and then the game-winning touchdown. That's big. That's big time when you talk about that's what you want. Drives with explosive plays have such a higher percentage of scoring. That's what made the difference in this game. So you see the low grade there for Levitt. It was inconsistent. There were times where it wasn't great. There were 3 turnover-worthy plays. He still needs to be a little more accurate in rhythm a little more often, but the fact that he can make plays outside the pocket, the 2 bombs to Jaron Hamilton, there's only so many guys in the country who can make that throw breaking outside of the pocket. The play at the end with Jordan Tyson on the 4th and 2, basically crazy. The play of the game. You know, you get a blitz up the middle. They lose contain. He rolls to his right. Tyson's just running an out and scramble drilled with Levitt to get up the sideline, and just an unbelievable play from both of them. And that's the bit that we've seen that is the biggest difference from the first year and a half of Kenny Dillingham and building the culture and becoming a tough physical team to once last year, ironically again, after a game they lost when Levitt was injured. Last year it was against Cincinnati. He comes back. They've got the chemistry going with Levitt and Tyson. They can make big plays in the passing game as well. This week, they didn't run the ball well. You're not going to run the ball very well in this Texas Tech front 7. That's just a fact. It wasn't a Raleek Brown game. They weren't going to run the football very well. It was going to be a grind. But it's almost one of those things. It's almost like in baseball terms. Look, this team is probably not better than us, but they can hit home runs. And that's exactly what Arizona State did. Is they came out, they hit 6 home runs, 5 of them turned into points, 19 points. Just a big difference in having Sam Levitt and the home run ability out there. It's not consistent. Arizona State at times this year has not looked consistent, but that high-end ability, especially of those 2 guys, Levitt and Tyson, and Jaron Hamilton, again, coming out of nowhere to have 100 yards in this game and to make especially 2 huge plays that set up a couple of field goals, big stuff. And that's exactly why you saw the difference in this offense between having Jeff Sims out there last week and having Sam Levitt in this week. Yeah, absolutely. My stat that told the story of this one was Arizona State, both teams had 22 points in the final 4 minutes of this game. It was kind of a defensive slugfest for the most part. It was 19-7. Arizona State with about 4 minutes left to go in the game. Ended up being 26-22. Arizona State. So really back and forth defensive affair until Texas Tech scored 15 points in a minute and 45 seconds to go from down 19-7 to up 22-19 with 2 minutes left. And then Sam Levitt led a 75-yard touchdown drive right after that to give ASU the lead with only 34 seconds left. So like I said, a game that looked really much like a defensive slugfest
exploded in the final 4 minutes of this game, and 22 total points in the final 4 minutes, and Arizona State ultimately got on top of it.
What this game did to the Big 12. So you think about first the three teams, okay, that we thought were kind of sort of the favorites coming into this, right? So now you have Texas Tech beat Utah beat Arizona State, and Arizona State beat Texas Tech. So now you've got a round robin between the three of them in second place, and also we got another game to get into later, but the two teams at the top of the Big 12 are BYU and Cincinnati. And those three teams I just mentioned are chasing them. And now we've got just absolute chaos like we did last year. So, no, this was, I mean, the way it went down in the end is what it is for Arizona State, but this is certainly a game where you just get out with a win. As talented a team as Texas Tech is, and they can still win a lot of ball games, and they probably will, this was so big for Arizona State's season, and the way this resets them, just like last year. We didn't have Leavitt for a game. We lost the conference game. We're limping a little bit. And now they get right back on the horse. And all of a sudden, too, a huge game against Houston next week, who's 6-1. And they only have one loss in the conference as well. So, I mean, you got the Big 12 shaping up to be as chaotic as it was last year. And credit to Kenny Dillingham just coming out with the right plan. And the one thing I'd be concerned with for Texas Tech, and I like Will Hammond. He's talented. He made some plays late in this game, and I think the athleticism in the run game helps. But there was a real struggle to get vertical in this game. That is a problem. We hadn't seen that before. If Baron Morton has to come back and be the more vertical passer, and he's clearly better with that, then obviously you want him back on the field as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what was the most impressive part of this game to you?
You know what? Just give me Jordan Tyson. And you saw him struggling with the hamstring late in the game, and was it his best receiving grade and the most dominant performance consistently throughout a game that he's had? No, but I mean, at the end of the day, you look at this. 10 catches, 105 yards. Again, the huge scramble drill play that was the biggest play of the game. Touchdown earlier on the game that was just unfair down on the goal line.
105 yards to him is like whatever. Which is crazy. It's like that's a benchmark.
Yeah, right. And it feels like I'm watching this again. It feels like something we shouldn't shake off. And I think with Jordan Tyson, and we saw this in I think it was the Baylor game. No, the TCU game that they won. He had the touchdown in the end zone on the inside slant. They go to him in big moments. Yep. 4 of those 10 catches were in the last 2 minutes of the game, right? I mean, it's just that's where it's going to down on the goal line when they're trying to score a touchdown on the one. Who's getting the ball? Jordan Tyson. And you can know it. You can know number zeros out there and all you want. You put him one-on-one, he's getting the football. He's going to win that battle. So, again, not wicked flashy at times. Came through at the end because you want your best players to win you these types of games. Again, 4 catches in the final 2 minutes. But Jordan Tyson, at the end of the day, if he's getting 100 on this defense, he's unstoppable. And I think that's going to continue to work to Arizona State's advantage at all times. This big moments, they want to run the ball. They want to play physical defense. But in the biggest moments of their season, it's going to be Sam Leavitt and it's going to be Jordan Tyson, and they're going to see how far that takes them.
Yep. I want to go with the Arizona State secondary in this game, the entire unit, because they did a great job against Will Hammond in this one. Only a 59.8 passing grade and a 48.2 receiving grade for Texas Tech in this game. Only 4.4 yards per pass allowed. Like Dalton mentioned, only 1 explosive pass allowed as well. 5 different Sun Devils had around a 70 coverage grade or better in this game. ASU's defense really stepped up when Sam Leavitt did not have his best stuff in this game. Like, if you told me Sam Leavitt would grade below a 50 in this game, I did not think Arizona State would have enough to win, but they did because their secondary really stepped up. Again, against a backup quarterback in Will Hammond, but still, they stepped up against Will Hammond and did a great job of keeping Arizona State in this game.
And even that one explosive play, look at the throw that it took Will Hammond to score that touchdown. I mean, just an unreal throw, one of the best throws I saw all day yesterday. I think that was big. Arizona State, Kenny Dillingham told his team, hey, listen, we're not going to get a ton of points in this game. They're probably grateful to have gotten 26 against this defense. That's going to be maybe the most points scored against this defense all year, honestly. But I think when you look at what they did on the back end, and this defense has really, ever since last year, been built from the back forward. They were outstanding in this game. And look, they were outstanding against the run. At no point, even as they were playing so well in coverage, did they let Texas Tech's run game take over. I mean, just a great defensive effort from Arizona State. And again, when they needed it most, it's Leavitt and Tyson making things happen. Just it puts them right back on track for Big 12 contention. They would have really been in trouble had they lost this game.
Yeah, Arizona State, the defending Big 12 champion, taking down the favorite to win the Big 12 in Texas Tech. And like Mickey says in the chat right now, the Big 12 is a war zone right now, and he loves it. The Big 12 every single year. We should have known better, Dalton. than saying, oh, there's a clear favorite in the Big 12 right now. There's never a clear favorite in the Big 12. Never. We should have known better.
Listen, honestly, 3 of the 4 Power 4 conferences really are a war zone right now. I mean, you look at all the good teams in the SEC, obviously, and then, I mean, between Texas Tech losing in this one and Miami losing that game on Friday, you've got absolute chaos already in the Big 12, in the ACC, and in the SEC. We knew that was coming because there's too many good teams for there not to be. But no, there's going to be game break. There's going to be just back-breaking stuff that happens to somebody every week with as tight as the contention is with so many teams right now.
So next time Dalton and I try to tell you, hey, there's a clear favorite in the Big 12, we want the chat to hold us accountable for that.
Call us liars.
Be like, hey, you know better. There's never a clear favorite in the Big 12 conference because there really is not. Last year, this year, almost every single year, the Big 12 is always a wide-open conference, and the favorite to win it, Texas Tech, suffers their first loss of the year to Arizona State.